Hello everybody, how are you today? My name's Kim Hamer and I'm here to talk about another customer-led success story. Today I want to share some thoughts on the brand LUSH. I don't know how many of you are familiar with LUSH, but they make fresh handmade cosmetics, and they started in the UK about 23 years ago in a little seaside town called Poole in Dorset. I was chatting with someone from LUSH at a recent event I was at on CEO activism, and I didn't know much about the brand, but what I found really fascinating is this whole conversation we were having around profit and philanthropy. So the event I was at was about CEO activism, and there was a lot of discussion talking about why CEOs have become more activists and become more campaign driven over the last few years. There was a really marked contrast with LUSH saying they separate their philanthropy completely from their profit. So in a lot of other cases you hear businesses or CEOs or spokespeople for businesses talking about issues in the media perhaps or things that they're doing, but there's a part of you that goes, well, that probably is quite a good thing to do. I don't disagree with that, but is it a little bit self-serving? Because then doesn't that go to your bottom line or your profit or making your business more efficient, or is there something else that's in it for you rather than just pure philanthropy or doing it because it's the right thing to do? And LUSH separate them completely, so they operate at two ends. It doesn't, what they choose to support from a campaign point of view is not driven by profit and vice versa. So really, really interesting. And what I found myself thinking is, okay, so, how does that translate? If those things don't talk to each other, then how do you get, consistency? How do you avoid bad press or difficult press? And what was explained to me was that when press comes up perhaps about one of the initiatives or campaigns that LUSH has been running, followers and customers of LUSH are so committed to the brand and the fact that their philanthropy is very altruistic rather than profit driven, that LUSH doesn't have to do terribly much. Most of their followers jump on the bandwagon and start to defend the brand without LUSH having to generate that kind of groundswell. So I thought that was a fascinating conversation. I'd never really come across a company that separates those two things. And I just wanted to share that with you. Is it a customer-led success story? Yes, I think it is, because of the way that LUSH has chosen to operate. They have created enormous brand advocacy. I think that's a really, really interesting model to explore. I don't know of many other companies that do that. So I'd love to hear your opinion on that. How do you divorce philanthropy and profit in your business? How easy is it to do? What are some of the challenges to actually doing that in your business, whether you're a public business, a government sector, a private organization, a small business, a startup? How do you do that? How do you be the activist that is altruistic in a business that is there for profit? So, interesting question on today's customer-led success story. I'd love to hear more from you. This is Kim Hamer, and I am passionate about customer-first brands and businesses. So if you come across any brands or businesses, then I'd love to hear from you. Drop me a note in the comments box below. Have a fabulous day, guys. Bye-bye.